Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Changing Room Thoughts. Woo!
Yay!
Yay! Today, I'm going to do something a little bit different. I feel I've been doing very interview-style podcasts. I know this is a very official-looking setup, but I want to make the podcast a little bit more casual, and I'm really excited today because I have a friend on the podcast, Hoang. I was really excited to have Mai on the podcast because, first of all, there's many reasons that I wanted you on the podcast. I was talking about you to one of my friends, and he was like, whoa, who made this girl? How is she balancing working full-time at a tech company, building her brand that does these amazing watch-inspired pieces, watch necklaces, rings, earrings, and you do social media. You're just such an interesting person. I've been wanting to get to know you better, and I'm excited that we can do that on the podcast.
Thanks. Yeah, that's my most asked question is how do you balance all that? And I showed you the app last time when you were at Head and Clouds Night Market. I'm also working on that.
Yeah.
So I don't know how, but I just do it. I think the most overwhelming thing is having a lot in my mind. Therapy.
You also say you have ADHD. How do you have ADHD, but you're also so productive?
I don't think I'm the most productive. I'm just very passionate. I love what I do. I love my day job. I love Sage and Saber. And if it weren't for that, it definitely would not keep me going, you know? So I think I would rather spend my time doing this because I believe in the future of what I'm doing instead of what I used to spend my time on, which is Netflix and going out. And there's nothing wrong with those things. I think it's so good to rewind and rest, but I don't know how to relax that way. I don't know how to relax, actually. So that's how I manage it.
Was there like a switch that flipped at one point where you were just, these are all the things that I want to do?
I've always
used to like Netflix. What happened? What changed?
I've always been very hardworking and entrepreneurial, but I also, in New York, it's so easy to be distracted. There's so much going on. There's so many cool stuff. I still get distracted all the time. So I think after I worked at my old company, Apollo, it's associated with a lot of nightlife, bars, going out.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, Apollo ID is kind of the membership. Actually, you can probably explain it better, but my context with Apollo ID is I would go with some influencer friends to go to Den Social or Mission, and you can skip the line because they're gold members or something like that.
That's perfect.
That's exactly what it is, right?
Yeah, that's perfect. That's what it's most known for, but I was leading marketing there. But I would have to go to a lot of these events, and it was really fun, but there was a point where my lifestyle that I wanted, it just wasn't that anymore. And that's where I started focusing on other things. I left the company last year, still on good terms with everyone there, but I started working at Calder. So I lead marketing for Calder, which we work with brands and sports teams for loyalty.
Oh.
Yeah.
Also, shout out to Calder and
this
Station 3
office.
For this amazing co-working office. If you're looking for a place that offers podcast studio, co-working space, this is a really beautiful office.
But yeah, I just started getting really burnt out from going out all the time. I used to be very extroverted and social, and then
she says that she comes back from Vegas.
Okay,
so we gotta talk about that.
Vegas was partially for conference, but also mostly for fun. Mm-hmm. It was 2 days conference, and the rest of it was fun. 3 days for fun. So I love to travel. I love to go out still, but I'm just tired of. I'm just a grandma. I don't know what's wrong with me, but even a housewarming, I just can't do it.
Damn.
So it's just a lifestyle change. So I just stay home a lot more often. It's summer coming up, so I might change my mind though.
I know. I was going to say
hot girl summer.
Because the way that I first got to know you was through Grace at her birthday party. And then I went to your birthday party. Just my impression of you is she wants something, she gets it done. She wants a birthday at a bar with a venue, she gets it done. Like,
I'm just really stubborn. I grew up like that.
What's your big three?
Do you want to guess? I think the first one's really obvious.
Taurus?
Close. It's
I went to your birthday. This was
no kidding.
But this week
she's DJ'd at my birthday.
Hey. And you also DJ?
Not really. I wouldn't call myself a DJ. I learned it before,
You dabble.
but I don't remember anything.
Okay. Damn, your birthday was late summer.
This zodiac sign, a lot of the times
Virgo?
are, yeah. I was
Okay,
gonna
that's
say,
what I
a lot
thought.
of them are business owners.
Okay.
I've noticed. That's also my rising, and my moon is Aquarius. So I'm a double Virgo.
Oh my God. Okay, this explains a lot.
Are you? And you are?
Okay, I'm a Virgo rising.
Virgo rising. Let's go. Virgos are the best.
No, I love being a Virgo. I love being a Virgo rising. I'm a Gemini sun and I'm a Taurus moon.
What's your boyfriend's?
He's a Pisces.
Okay.
People love to shit on Pisces men, but I think he's really soft and sweet. But I also really get along with Aquarius women, I've noticed.
Me too. My roommate's an Aquarius, so
Yeah.
no.
Wait, what about your boyfriend? What?
He's a Libra.
Oh.
Which I used to not like Libras, so I don't know what happened.
Yeah. Wait, so when did you guys start dating? Were you dating back last year?
When
I
you met me? No.
Ah.
I've been single most of my life.
Uh-huh. Oh, so this is new.
This is very new. People are, what? Maya has a boyfriend because I'm such a man hater, you know? He knows I'm a man hater.
Relatable.
It took him a lot to get my walls down.
Yeah.
I was very stubborn at first.
Wait, so what changed that changed it for you?
Throughout our time together. It's only been a few months, so very new relationship, but he's just very reassuring and never makes me question anything. If he likes me or if he cares for me, I never have to worry about that. Whereas in past relationships I have. So it's just comfortable. Yeah. And we're besties, so yeah.
So this was a friends to lover situation?
Yeah, well, when we went out for the first date, I was not sure if I was gonna like him. So I told my friend, if anything, this can be a platonic friendship date before I met him. But then when I met him, yeah, that changed. So, so not really friends to lovers. Lovers to lovers. To extra lovers.
Love.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sweet. That's awesome. And yeah, I feel for really enterprising and ambitious women,
It's so hard to
Virgos,
date.
Yeah, it is. And this is why we turn out to be man haters, because every man that I had dated that identified as similarly ambitious, things like that, it started to get a little.
Yeah. I think that it kind of scares them sometimes.
It does.
Because I do prioritize my career over most things. And not dating, for example. And but my partner is super supportive, so it's not really an issue at all. But I think it's hard because I'm scared of evil eye. You know, I don't want people to be, I want them to actually support me, you know, power couple, see each other thrive. But in a lot of cases, it just scares them away.
Yeah.
I think not all men, but a lot of men, they are intimidated by very ambitious women. They think we're crazy. I am delulu, but that's how I get things done.
No, exactly. You have to maintain, especially for entrepreneurship, you have to maintain a level of nothing exists right now, but I have the 5-year vision in my head.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to be delulu.
Yeah.
It's very, very scary.
Manifesting
but you have
is a skill.
Mm-hmm.
It's a skill.
Yeah.
No, 100%. And I've definitely identified with that before. The men I've met, they want to be with an intelligent, ambitious woman because they see that as a reflection of themselves. Oh, I'm smart and intelligent. I deserve a similarly ambitious partner. But when they actually start dating one and the smart, ambitious woman talks back or has other plans. I was talking about this with my roommate, Andrew, how dating is just pendulum swinging. You go from one person and you find the complete opposite. So it's great that my ex was an asshole because my boyfriend now is so lovely.
Oh,
yeah.
I love that. Is he a golden retriever?
Yes.
I love golden retrievers.
Exactly.
As a dog and human. Both.
I feel that's the perfect companion for a man-hating woman.
Yes.
Yeah. It has to be a golden retriever.
He actually jokes that he's a gold digger because his parents are, what's their favorite thing about or when people ask, I love her drive and ambition. And then he said recently, I'm going to say something else now because it really sounds like I'm a gold digger. And I don't have any gold right now. And he's, no, but I see the future. But I'm psychic. Yeah.
Yeah. He's right there with you in the delulu.
I see the vision. Yeah.
No, perfect. Okay. Speaking of manifesting and delulu and all of that, got off topic. And I think if you have ADHD, I definitely have ADHD.
Oh, sorry.
Let's rewind. You were at Apollo ID. You were not about that lifestyle anymore, about just constantly going out. You wanted to change something. Was this before you started Sage and Saber?
I started Sage and Saber technically 3 years ago-ish, but I rebranded a few times. So it wasn't always Sage and Saber. So I grew up in California. I from Silicon Valley, but I went to school in San Diego. I felt
Wait, I didn't know you were from the Bay.
Really? I thought wait, are you?
I am.
Where?
I grew up partially in Fremont, Union City, partially Palo Alto.
Oh my gosh. I'm San Jose. So very
That's crazy.
close.
We're finding out about this on this podcast.
Yeah, is it very competitive where you grew up, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I started the business in quarantine of, I think, 2020 when I was really depressed and isolated, partially because of my roommate situation. I live with 6 girls, and there were these 3 mean girls. I don't want to call them out. I don't have anything against them anymore. I don't have resentment against them. There's actually some of them are still my friends.
Right.
We're all good.
Yeah.
But basically, that kept me in my room a lot more often. And I started making jewelry for fun and crying all the time and making jewelry. And I just got better and better at it because, you know, the 100-hour thing.
Yeah.
And I started the business. I started at first doing resin jewelry, wearing this ugly, huge gas mask. And it was so funny because
you should send me a picture later. I'll put it up.
Oh yeah, it was so funny. I'll find it. Oh god, I have to really dig for it. But when the UPS guys came, I would just turn and I would look the Terminator. You know the Terminator with the big mask? I looked like the Terminator.
That's so
I was really risking carcinogens for my failed business. So I did resin jewelry for a little bit, and then I did crystal jewelry for a while. Huge in San Diego, actually. I started getting to shops doing consignment at local art stores, and then almost every Saturday or Sunday at 6 a.m. I'd wake up and go to Kobe swap meet and literally sell out of the trunk of my car. So when I say bootstrapped, I bootstrap. I don't want to hear some guy saying I borrowed $1 million from my dad, because I really put every single dollar that I made back into the business. And it was very scary because I work very hard for my dollar. I worked minimum wage jobs since I was 14.
Yeah.
So that's how I got started. And also face to face, there's nothing that beats that interaction and that market research, knowing what my customers, what they don't, you know, learning a lot about sales over the years. And then I moved to New York 2 years ago. First market I did was Chelsea Market, actually, Artisan Fleas. And then Canal Street Market and a bunch of other ones. Now I'm at Canal Street Market still. I just like the vibe there the most. I skipped a lot, but basically I moved here 2 years ago because I loved the city so much. And I also wanted to expand my business, and this is definitely the place to do watch jewelry.
Wow. Thank you for giving us, I'm sure there's a lot more to that, but thanks for giving us overview of how this came to be. And this is your baby.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, not to say we're the same or anything like that, but I feel that I've had a very similar experience to you. I don't know if we talked about this, but I was also depression crafting during COVID. And I started making these. I was watching Avatar: The Last Airbender. I'm a big Avatar fan. And I was DIYing this bucket hat out of some old towels. It just so happened to be the same color as it's brown and white. So I was like, I'm going to make a little bucket hat with an arrow that looks like Appa. Have you seen Avatar: The Last Airbender? Okay.
I'm just going to pretend I know.
No, you're so good. Basically, I started to make some fan-made merchandise, and it did really well online on TikTok, and it went viral. And then I started doing a small business from my depression
An
craft.
Etsy shop?
Yeah, it was a Shopify. And
a Shopify, okay.
Yeah, a Shopify, and it grew to a point where I hired a seamstress.
Okay, like, period.
Yeah.
I didn't know this.
Yeah. No, yeah. Oh my God. It's crazy we haven't talked about this, because I was not having a good time because of friendship drama. And yeah, post-college, I graduated 2020. What about you?
I graduated 2021.
Okay, got it. So we're only 1 year apart.
I graduated a little early, so I'm supposed to be 2022.
Oh.
So maybe 2 years. How old are you?
I'm 25.
I'm 23.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. It's impressive that you have the level of self-awareness that you do. Yeah, because at 23, I was, woo. Yeah.
I already went, woo, too much. Yeah. Now I'm
granny era. But no, yeah, I had a very similar, it was kind of therapeutic for me. And yeah, I don't do that business anymore because it was a lot to do on top of my 9 to 5.
Yeah.
And also I knew it was kind of a trend. So I didn't think it had sustainable power because it was Netflix had brought back Avatar: The Last Airbender and a bunch of people were watching it. Now looking back, I definitely should have quit my full-time job to do that full-time.
Really?
Yeah. Because I could have expanded into other things. I could have, and I'm sure you feel this way too, but there's nothing more invigorating and fun than working on your business.
What were your margins?
They were pretty good. I was working at 45%,
Good,
35 to 45%. I made the effort because it was supposed to be something for fun. It wasn't something that I wanted. I was aiming to make a lot of money off. I wanted it to be ethical, slow fashion. I didn't want to contract manufacturers. I didn't want to hold on to inventory I couldn't sell. So everything was pre-order only. I'd never put out a single dime. I was, okay, you pay me first and then I'll make this, which was crazy to me that people even bought things without me having any physical product. They just trusted me to get it done and make it. So that was a wild ride, but I'm sure you understand that feeling with Sage and Saber. You know, I have a 9 to 5, you have a 9 to 5, but this is the baby. This is your life and your love.
I have a new baby now too from Sage and Saber. Basically, one thing that's so hard for me to manage is inventory. I don't know how many variations you have of yours, but it's every single watch face. I don't know how many I have, and my employees they won't know that.
Yeah.
Right. So I showed you in person, but we worked on this app where you can scan something and it'll with machine learning object detection, and it syncs to your Shopify POS. I process the payment like normal, but this way it tracks your inventory for you. And you don't have to type anything in. It literally, let's say I sold this, it'll know what it is in 3 seconds or less.
That's crazy. So is this something that people can leverage on the Shopify third-party marketplace?
So we haven't publicly launched, but if anyone wants to be part of the beta group, they can just talk to me. We have to basically do data annotations for the products first. Give them the app to test out and give us feedback. Right. But once we have more use cases, I would love to publicly launch as an API.
Yeah. That's insane that on top of this jewelry business that you're literally making an enterprise SaaS product.
B2B software.
Yeah. Yeah. That's amazing. And so your partner that works on this, is this technically part of Sage and Saber, or do you consider this a different business?
This is a different business.
Have you given it a name?
Probably gonna be Inventory AI or some. I don't know. Yeah. I've been brainstorming names. Let me know if you have any suggestions, but probably something like that. It's just hard because right now I'm trying to find a technical team to build out. It works fine for Sage and Saber. It's just the only client we have so far that we have trained the model for is Sage and Saber. But I would love to help small businesses in general.
Especially ones with a high SKU count. That's the issue,
exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Especially even extra bonus if they're also the manufacturer us. So you can scan, you can literally pull up the phone and it'll know 1 watch face, 2 charms. It's really cool. It'll know all of that. So this one, it'll be 2 square, 1 circle, and it'll -1 for you of that quantity.
So automatic inventory management. I feel like that's the part of fashion innovation, fashion and technology that's really exciting to me, because I think there's been plenty of investment into shopping, e-tailers, and things like that. And this not as sexy stuff, that's inventory management, supply chain logistics. This is the stuff that needs tech innovation. So I think it's super cool that you're doing that on top of creative businesses.
And enterprises, they have the budget to do barcodes and RFID. But for small businesses, we don't have the time to do labeling and everything, because I have done barcode stuff before. Actually, we are partnering with Urban Outfitters, which is really exciting. And with that, I have to barcode everything. So I know how much time and effort it takes. So that's another thing that it'll help. So I just really want to help small businesses. I know how hard it is. We wear a lot of hats. If I can just help with 1 hat, that'd be awesome, which is inventory, which takes up so much time.
Yeah, that's amazing. But that's also huge. Have you been in other retailers before, or is Urban Outfitters the first?
Biggest deal we've ever done. We're very picky also with which retailer we work with.
Oh my God, congrats.
Thank you. Yeah, I really want to maintain the integrity of the business. I don't want to just be on Amazon, for example.
Right.
Well, also the price point wouldn't make sense
Right.
for Amazon, but if I really wanted to prioritize profit, I would be in everyone's DMs asking them if they want to be an ambassador for 2 to 3 free items. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I get so many of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like, just send bots to everyone. But we
Uh-huh.
really want to maintain the integrity and exclusivity. So
Right.
urban is one that I think matches perfectly with our demographic, which is why I was open to this deal. It's a lot of work to do a partnership but
Yeah.
I thought urban was the perfect exception to my rule of not, being in a bunch of retailers. Yeah.
That's crazy. And that's amazing. So I'm guessing this would run kind of a wholesale. They buy a certain amount of inventory from you. And what was getting that connection and that deal set up? How does a small business go about doing that?
I don't even know how they found me, but they emailed me and they said, I thought it was a scam. They're like, hey, we're from Urban. We love your watch jewelry. We'd love to hop on a call. We found you from Canal Street Market. Oh. So they either stumbled upon the market or they found a video of the market of our pop-up. So I'm really happy that we were there because it's very expensive to host a pop-up.
Yeah.
But one of the reasons we do it is brand awareness. Magical
wow, so
times like this.
It really paid off.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. How long have you been in Canal Street Market for now?
On and off for a few months. I mean, okay. I also did it last year for the holidays, but we do on and off because it's very hard to host so many people and with my day job and whatever. But my plan is to be there for the summer and the winter because Christmas. And then there's a break in between where I want to focus on only online. Yeah.
That's crazy. That's amazing that you've grown the brand this much over the last 3 years.
Thank you.
Yeah. In the next couple years, what are you manifesting for yourself, for Sage and Saber? What are you excited to do in the future?
I would love to automate more so I don't have to be so hands-on. I don't want to be the one making everything. I mean, we have a team that helps make stuff, but I just want to be a lot more organized in the business. I think it's hard because I get so caught up in the creative side. I love, making new products and things like that, but it's hard because scaling, I went to a conference yesterday and there was a keynote speaker. He was just yelling at us and I loved it. Some of the things he said were really obvious though. He was, you can't build a house without a foundation. Everyone was, amen. And I was like, but it's true. I need to be better at organization, business structure, all this. I get so caught up with the creative side. I love to make new products. I love to, style people. I love to talk with my customers, which, I mean, that's always a good thing. But I need to also do the more boring, mundane stuff, or at least delegate it. Finances, for example.
So finances, inventory management, these kinds of things. Anything else on your wish list? You never know who's watching.
But long term, I would love to partner long term with Urban. We just have a small batch with them, but if I can just be there forever, especially in person, because ours is online. So our partnership will be on our website, but I would love to be permanently with Urban. And the same owners are Free People and Anthropology.
Right.
So I would love to be at Free People and Anthro. My mom is obsessed with anthropology. So I think that would be a huge, moment for her where she'll actually be proud of.
Is she not proud of you right now?
A lot more, but actually when I started my business at first, they thought it was so much labor on me carrying these big tents and tables to sell. They would just crap on me a lot. They were, it's just, we don't want to see you working so hard when you don't need to, I just don't get it. And they weren't that supportive at first. They only were once I started getting my numbers up, but it was very sad because if you're the sole person that believes in yourself, which most of the time when you start something new, you will be the main person that is supporting yourself. But it was hard because parental validation, there's nothing like that.
Yeah.
And also, I also grew up in a very traditional family where they're, doctor, lawyer, whatever. And then also in a traditional neighborhood. I grew up in Silicon Valley, so everyone's doing the same thing.
I feel that so bad. I had a very similar experience, which is why I moved here. I moved to New York because there are truly creatives here that are thriving, doing their own thing. And I felt so long as I stayed in the Silicon Valley working my software engineering job, I was not going to really let myself thrive or give myself the best chance to surround myself with people who would bring that energy out and enable that in me.
100%. If
Yeah.
it weren't for the people here, I wouldn't be where I am.
Yeah.
Of course, your goal should never be external validation, but it's hard when everyone is not supporting, they don't understand.
Yeah.
But moving here has really changed my life because there are so many like-minded people. We all, help each other. My circle just happens to be a lot of people that are entrepreneurial, they're founders as well. So I think that it definitely helped a lot in my confidence as well, in
Yeah.
myself. Yeah.
That's amazing. I can tell too, when you talk about your brand, there's no hesitation either about how far this can really go. Or, we talked about dreaming and being delulu and manifesting as a skill. And also to have done this for 3 years and see the things that you set out 3 years ago. Oh, I want that. And now it's happening.
I mean, there's imposter syndrome and perfectionism that I'm working on. Therapy. But overall, I've definitely come a long way. But it's always up and down running a business. So you'll never feel satisfied.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm a lot more happy now. And it's not because of the numbers. It's just I feel the community has been, very supportive and is what keeps me going.
Yeah. 100%. So I am curious about kind of when you talk about being in your granny era and doing all these things, how much time would you say you're spending work, Sage and Saber, the app you're developing? Do you have any free time left for yourself at the end of the day?
I promise I do. It doesn't seem like it, but I spend a lot less time in Sage and Saber and the app than people think. It is the time that I do spend, it's exhausting, of course, but I'm very intentional. Of course, I prioritize my day job. Do I need it? Maybe not, but I love it, so it's okay. If I didn't love my day job, I would probably work much harder to try to get out of it, right?
Right.
If I was working a boring 9 to 5, I would definitely, try really hard to quit. But so there's that. Of course, that's around 40 hours, right? Is standard. And then when I come home, if I need to do something urgent for Sage and Saber, every week is different. So it's really hard to answer that. But when people ask me, I usually say maybe 10 to 30 hours a week on Sage and Saber, sometimes more. If I'm running the shop, then, definitely more on the higher side. And then with the app, right now I'm not doing much because I'm looking for a technical team.
Right.
So almost zero.
Yeah.
Just a lot of R&D. So I spend
Uh-huh.
hours doing R&D, but it's tied into Sage and Saber. So everything kind of goes hand in hand. Yeah. I know that doesn't really answer your question,
No,
but
it gives an
every
insight
week is
as to,
different.
and how many employees do you have at Sage and Saber?
They're all part-time contractors,
Yeah.
but around 5.
Wow. Wow. That's because on top of just running the business, doing all the things, but managing people is a whole other skill.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Have you ever,
stressful.
yeah. Have you ever, I guess, scrap that actually. I don't want to ask that on the podcast.
Oh, you're going to ask if I fired someone, huh?
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask if you've ever run into complications when it comes to managing a team.
I think,
Or
yes,
if you've ever fired someone.
they fire them mutual firing. So not really. I've never been, but it's been definitely very stressful. It's hard because it's not good to mix business with personal, but there's always going to be a time where I don't really have a choice and you just have to figure out the best way to manage it. So, but I think the hardest thing for running something that's IRL is, or even URL actually, is making sure people show up. So being a really good leader, making people is going to encourage people to show up and, do the thing, but it's not easy to do that with, little capital. You have to really rely on, personal, I don't know. It's a lot of learning, definitely. But I am very lucky to have a really good team overall. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks for telling me so much about how you've been running the business, the ins and outs, the good, bad, pretty, ugly, all those different parts of that. Do you have any siblings?
I have a little sister.
Oh,
She's 2
okay.
years younger. She's a little baby to me.
Okay. Is she in college?
She's about to graduate.
Exciting. Where's she at?
UC Santa Cruz.
Oh, okay, cool. And wait, where did you go to college?
San Diego State.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, so
I
both of you
studied
guys,
bio, public health, and psych.
I can see the psych.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I can definitely see the
I love
psych.
psych.
It doesn't surprise me that you studied something that was STEM. Yeah.
Yeah. Woman in
She's
STEM.
very woman in STEM. She figures everything out. You have a very can-do attitude and you fix things very quickly. Yeah.
Thank you. You should tell my
Yeah.
mom.
So after college, did you go straight into working in marketing at Apollo? Apollo?
I worked as a medical assistant after I graduated college.
Whoa, during COVID.
During COVID. So full PPE.
Bro.
Yeah.
Was
Swabbing
af-
noses and
Oh my
stuff.
God. After that, were you kind of,
The pay was awesome.
oh,
Like
right.
it was a very easy job actually.
Uh-huh.
Literally mobile. So I would go to SF, Oakland, Berkeley with the company car, big ass white van, very sketchy looking. Yeah. And just a little 5'3" me with a huge white van. I'd switch off with my partners and stuff. And then I did that for a few months, knowing that I wanted to move to New York. So
Uh-huh.
I saved up a lot of money from that. I was working 16-hour days or sometimes, 16-hour days. I was basically a nurse at that point, you know?
Damn, yeah.
Just kidding. Nurses are number one. Yeah, I was working really long shifts. And then I met my roommates through Facebook.
This was the 6-person house?
No, I live with 3 girls. The 6-person house was in college.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I met my roommates on Facebook. And then I moved to New York 4 months after, I think, around 4 months after I graduated, which is crazy because my old college roommates were WTF, you're moving to New York? Because they knew me the month that I left for New York and I came back and I was, I'm going to move here. And they're like, what are you going to do there? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing here.
That's the vibe.
I know I could find a job.
Yeah.
Even if it's a mediocre one. We'll see, you know. But
Right.
I know I feel very confident in myself. I
Right.
thought I was delulu. But I'm here now still. So
Yeah.
And then I worked at Apollo a month after I moved here. So basically in the
gotcha.
beginning. Through a referral.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
nice. How was that transition from doing something that was, okay, I'm in the medical field, this is what I studied to do, to this is not at all what I studied? How was that transition?
I have always loved marketing, social media specifically.
Yeah.
And have always been active. I just thought I wanted a more traditional career. I wanted to be a physician assistant. So I was set on being PA. Last semester was when I made the switch in my head, at least. But I still graduated with a pre-PA degree technically. And if I wanted to apply now, I technically could. I just need like a few requirements. But I don't want to.
Yeah. Is there any part of, right? Like,
I love healthcare so much. And I did see myself being a PA for sure. But I'm just way too entrepreneurial.
yeah.
I love to build cool shit.
Yeah.
Can I swear?
Yeah, of course. I swear almost every episode.
My 3 words, if you say what's your goal in life, it's just build cool shit.
Yeah.
Of course, the cool shit that helps people.
Right.
I thought I could help people in other ways. So I switched from healthcare. I started the jewelry business, and that's when I was, okay, this is very hard. It's going to be a huge learning curve, but I've always been entrepreneurial. I want to come back to what I've loved as a child. I used to sell, flashback, throwback.
Rewind.
I used to sell loci bracelets.
What
Remember
is
those loci bracelets? The little pearl looking ones? They were hard pearls. You definitely know what they are. Loci bracelets. LOKAI. I used to sell loci bracelets and really ugly looking duct tape wallets in middle school and high school.
Duct tape wallets.
It's the duct tape wallets. I was a huge sales. I've always been into sales, marketing, products, something creative. I realized.
Oh, I see these things.
So I'd buy them in bulk and sell that. I don't know if that's allowed or not, but
She's always been a little entrepreneur.
I've always been. I just never thought that I could do it. And then COVID happened. I was like, you know what? Life is short. I could die tomorrow. I'm just going to start this business.
No, for real. Because I was thinking about this the other day. What am I doing right now that would make a difference in 5 years? Meaningful difference, right? In terms of life trajectory, wealth, all of those things, fulfillment, all of those things. And very clearly, one of the biggest things is starting a business. The earlier you start and invest that time, the greater your chances are of success if you give yourself enough time to make mistakes, fix them, etc., etc. I could have a very long career at Capital One if I wanted. My manager's been there for 10 years. There are people who are there for 15 years if they wanted to be. But I just don't. Something in me feels so restless. Ever since I had that experience running my own Shopify, it was electric. Picking out the tags, sewing them on, writing the thank you notes, getting the business cards, packaging them. And I also had 5 friends that were my contractors per se. And I would drop off a big bag of hats, the order slips, the packaging materials. It was COVID, right? So we couldn't do this all together. So I would drive it to their house, drop off packages, and they would individually go to USPS and drop it off and stuff. But I miss having to think quick on my feet to make it work, make it happen, and deliver something. There's nothing that really replaces that feeling of, oh, I made this thing and someone wants to buy it. Yeah.
I don't think I answered why Sage and Saber before very well, but it reminds me of why I feel so passionate about it. It's not even the fact that it's jewelry. I love jewelry, of course, but it's the fact that I feel there's so much jewelry out there that is the same, very heavily manufactured and copied. What I really loved about, I've always done made to order. I've always done customizable jewelry. Even crystal jewelry was customizable. I love getting to know the customer face to face. What do they when I was doing crystal, I was, what's your birth month? You know? Oh, you're fiery, you're, hardworking, you're blah, 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 blah. I think this one would be good for you. So I just love getting to know a person and making them feel beautiful. It's funny because I also used to have a photography business, and that was my main goal, was to help people feel beautiful, because that's what I loved hearing. Thank you so much. You made me feel so pretty today. I never felt I was a good poser. Like, I feel awkward. That's what I hear all the time, by the way. No one's awkward. Okay. It's okay. You'll be fine. But that's what I love doing, is making people feel beautiful. So when I transitioned to jewelry, I love getting to know the person, picking out something for them. And it's so expensive to customize jewelry. I also wanted to make it more accessible, where people can basically design their own. I don't know if you know, but at the shop, we have an iPad app where people can literally customize their own video game, and we make it for them in real life on the spot. So they choose what they want, they choose the design, and then, what colors they want or whatever, which charms, and we'll make it for them.
Wow.
And that business model does not seem scalable, but I'm working on it because I really believe, I'm really passionate about it. And I know it's not, customization isn't really scalable. That's what people say, made to order and stuff like that. But I just really want to make this work because there's nothing more fulfilling than the in-person interactions.
Yeah.
I don't want to be behind the screen all the time.
Yeah, I feel that.
Doing the online orders.
Yeah. And there's something so special about having something custom to you.
It's the experience.
For example, this ring is Nunchi, which was right next to you at the Head in the Clouds market. But even the fact that all their rings are also made to order, and they're, oh, tell us your size. We'll make it in your size. We won't just have a bunch of rings lying around in random sizes. You tell us and we'll make it for you. Even that, even though it's so simple, makes it feel so special because it's for me. Yes.
I want to somehow make that memorable. I want to somehow make that memorable experience possible online. That's what I'm also working on. Another thing is, it's cool because the watches actually work. So you can do 3 different time zones on yours, and people love that. It's nostalgic.
That's
too.
So cute. That's so cute. And okay, I probably should have asked this earlier, but so they're all assembled here with contractors and things like that. The watch pieces themselves, I think I saw a TikTok or a reel or something of you when you were in sorry. I saw a reel of you, I think when you were in a watch shop or something, and someone came in and did they pull out a gun or something? Like,
oh my gosh, I was getting a watch ring fixed. And wait, sorry, I wasn't speaking into it. I was getting a watch ring fixed, and this guy walks in, and I'm la la la, and he thought I was staring at him, I guess, and then he threatened to stab me with a knife. He pulled out a knife.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so basically he was angry that, he was giving racist vibes too. He said, these weird ass Asians came up to me and said I couldn't come to Popular Jewelry. So then the place that I went to, they were like, oh, why? And he was, I don't know, some weird ass Asians came up to me and I was, oh God, red flag. And then he just started being really aggressive all of a sudden, even though none of us were provoking him at all. And it's probably because I was in a room full of Asians. And then he grabs the watches from me that I was gonna check out. And he's like, you want me to take these from you? Do you want me to take these from you? And I'm pulling it because my instinct, honestly, I should have just let him have it from the get-go because they're probably worth $5 or $10. They were vintage. And then he does yank them from me and then pushes me while he's on his way out, throws them back on the table. And what was the point of taking the watches if you're going to give it back to me? You know, you're just trying to prove a point. What was the point of this tug of war if you're just going to give the watches back to me? He's just trying to, show his power trip. Yeah. And then the knife thing, and then he did eventually walk away. But I was,
that is so
what the heck?
scary.
Yeah. Really risking my life for customer service. Damn. Top notch. No one ever come back to me with a broken watch ring again, okay?
Damn.
Traumatized.
First of all, that sounds traumatic as fuck. And I hope that you feel safe in your neighborhood.
No, yeah,
and
I'm
that
good.
hasn't happened again. But the question I was going to ask was, so the jewelry gets assembled here. Do you get the parts from, you mentioned getting it fixed around Chinatown, but do you import the parts overseas? Do you collect them somehow?
All the parts are from different types of manufacturers. Some are in US based, most of them are actually. Some are overseas, but I go to Chinatown to get the battery fixed.
Oh, gotcha.
Because that's just not something extra I want to do.
Right.
Yeah, that's the only thing we do there.
Damn. Okay. So the sourcing takes you everywhere.
Yes, unless someone comes up to me with a watch piece that they want me to turn into something else. Or they want a vintage only piece. I'm happy to do that by custom order.
I see. Okay, so people can send you watches and you can turn it into jewelry.
Yeah.
Okay, very cool. I was kind of curious about that.
I used to do all vintage, but it's just not something I could replicate. So,
right. Yeah. Very cool. Very good to know.
Follow Sage and Saber on Instagram.
Yeah.
And my personal, my Hoang XX.
Yes.
And follow my LinkedIn.
I'll put all the links in the descriptions. Thank you so much for being on Changing Room Thoughts.
Thank you.
I really appreciate you telling us more about yourself, about Sage and Saber, and I'm excited to share this story with my audience. And for those of you who listen to Changing Room Thoughts, be sure to follow check out the link in the description box for all of her socials, as well as our Discord server if you're interested in chatting, discussing, kikiing, whatever it is. And I'll see you next Monday. Bye.